What if I told you that right now, as you're listening to this, something invisible is quietly stealing your strength, your independence, and possibly years from your life? You'd want to know about it, wouldn't you? Every day, millions of Americans over 60 are losing something precious without even realizing it. It's not their memory, though that's scary enough. It's not their eyesight, though that matters too. It's something far more fundamental: their muscle mass. And here's the terrifying part. Most people don't even know it's happening until it's almost too late. This silent thief has a name. It's called sarcopenia. And if you're over 50, it's already begun its work. Starting around age 30, we lose 3 to 8% of our muscle mass every decade. But after 50, that rate doubles. By the time most people notice they're struggling to open a jar or climb stairs without getting winded, they've already lost a significant portion of their strength. The consequences: they're more devastating than most people realize. We're talking about increased falls, broken bones, loss of independence, and a cascade of health problems that can cut years off your life. The statistics are sobering. Adults with sarcopenia are 3 times more likely to fall, twice as likely to be hospitalized, and significantly more likely to face premature death. But here's what the medical establishment doesn't want you to know, and what I'm about to share with you today. Sarcopenia isn't inevitable. It's not just part of getting older. And most remarkably, there's one simple, delicious fruit sitting in grocery stores across America that can help reverse this process. I know that sounds too good to be true. I know you've probably heard promises like this before. But stick with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to share with you is backed by cutting-edge research and real-life success stories that will blow your mind. What if I told you that Martha, a 72-year-old grandmother from Ohio, went from barely being able to lift her grandchildren to playing active games with them in her backyard, all because of one simple change to her diet? What if I told you that Robert, a retired mechanic from Texas, canceled his plans to move to assisted living because he regained enough strength to live independently? These aren't miracle stories. They're real transformations that happened because these people discovered something that many doctors are just beginning to understand. So if you value your independence, if you want to stay strong and capable well into your golden years, you need to hear this. Your future self will thank you. Let me introduce you to Dorothy Williams, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Portland, Oregon. For 35 years, Dorothy shaped young minds, spending her days on her feet, carrying stacks of books, and keeping up with energetic children. She was the picture of vitality, the teacher who stayed after school for extra help, who chaperoned field trips, who never seemed to slow down. But retirement brought changes Dorothy hadn't expected. At first, she attributed her increased fatigue to the adjustment of not working. When she started avoiding her weekly grocery shopping because the bags felt too heavy, she told herself she was just being practical. When climbing the stairs to her bedroom left her breathless, she convinced herself it was normal aging. The turning point came on a crisp autumn morning. Dorothy was trying to open a jar of her favorite strawberry preserves, the same brand she'd been buying for years. She struggled, using hot water, rubber grips, even asking her neighbor Tom for help. As Tom effortlessly opened the jar, Dorothy felt something she'd never experienced before: helplessness. That evening, as she sat in her living room looking at the garden she could no longer maintain, Dorothy realized how much had changed. The woman who once rearranged classroom furniture single-handedly now struggled with tasks a child could manage. Her independence, which she'd cherished throughout her life, was slipping away like sand through her fingers. Dorothy's story isn't unique. Across America, millions of seniors are experiencing this same gradual decline, this slow surrender of capabilities they once took for granted. They're told it's normal, expected, inevitable. They're advised to take it easy, to act their age, to accept limitations they never imagined they'd face. The emotional toll is just as devastating as the physical one. Depression, social isolation, and a sense of lost identity become unwelcome companions. Dorothy found herself declining invitations, avoiding activities she once loved, and gradually shrinking her world to match her diminishing capabilities. But Dorothy's story, like yours, doesn't have to end there. Because what happened next changed everything. Dr. Sarah Henderson wasn't looking for a miracle when she began her research at the University of California's Aging Studies Department. As a gerontologist who'd spent 20 years watching patients gradually lose their strength and independence, she was simply trying to understand why some seniors maintained their vitality while others didn't. Her breakthrough came from an unexpected source, a 90-year-old patient named Eduardo, a Mexican immigrant who'd been working in California's agricultural fields for over 50 years. Despite his age, Eduardo moved with the strength and grace of someone decades younger. His secret, a daily ritual he'd maintained since childhood. Every morning, Eduardo told Dr. Henderson through a translator, "I eat the fruit of youth. My grandmother taught me this when I was small. She said it would keep me strong like the earth that grows it." Intrigued, Dr. Henderson began investigating Eduardo's daily fruit consumption and discovered something remarkable. The specific fruit Eduardo ate and the particular way he consumed it contained a unique combination of compounds that seemed to directly combat muscle deterioration. This wasn't just folklore or wishful thinking. When Dr. Henderson analyzed Eduardo's muscle mass and strength, she found levels that defied everything she knew about aging. His muscle fiber density was comparable to someone in their 50s. His grip strength exceeded the average for men 20 years younger. Dr. Henderson spent the next 3 years conducting controlled studies with over 200 volunteers. The results were nothing short of extraordinary. Participants who incorporated this specific fruit into their daily routine showed measurable improvements in muscle mass within just 6 weeks. After 3 months, the average increase in lean muscle tissue was 18%. But the benefits went beyond just physical measurements. Participants reported feeling more energetic, sleeping better, and experiencing a renewed sense of confidence in their physical abilities. They were opening jars again, climbing stairs without fatigue, and returning to activities they'd given up. What we discovered, Dr. Henderson explains, challenges everything we thought we knew about aging and muscle loss. This isn't about slowing down the inevitable decline. It's about reversing it. We're literally watching people regain strength they thought was gone forever. The fruit Dr. Henderson studied contains a powerful combination of leucine, potassium, and antioxidants that work together to stimulate muscle protein synthesis while reducing inflammation that contributes to muscle breakdown. Unlike synthetic supplements with harsh side effects, this natural approach works with your body's own healing mechanisms. The most remarkable part: this life-changing fruit isn't some exotic superfood that costs hundreds of dollars. It's affordable, available in every grocery store in America, and most people already enjoy eating it. The key is knowing which variety to choose and exactly how to prepare it for maximum benefit. As Dr. Henderson puts it, you don't have to accept weakness as your destiny. Nature has provided us with tools to fight back, and science has shown us how to use them effectively. To understand how we can fight sarcopenia, we first need to understand what's happening inside your body. Think of your muscles as a bank account. Throughout your life, you've been making deposits and withdrawals. Physical activity makes deposits. Aging, inactivity, and poor nutrition make withdrawals. Around age 30, something changes in this equation. Your body begins making more withdrawals than deposits, even if your lifestyle hasn't changed. This happens because of several interconnected factors that create a perfect storm for muscle loss. First, your body's production of growth hormone and testosterone naturally declines. These hormones are like foremen at a construction site. They direct the building and maintenance of muscle tissue. With fewer foremen on the job, muscle construction slows, while muscle breakdown continues at its normal pace. Second, your body develops what scientists call anabolic resistance. This means your muscles become less responsive to the protein you eat. It's like having a key that used to unlock your front door, but suddenly doesn't fit quite right anymore. The protein is there, but your muscles can't use it as efficiently as they once did. Third, chronic low-level inflammation increases as we age. This isn't the obvious inflammation you feel when you twist your ankle. It's a subtle, ongoing process that interferes with muscle repair and growth. Think of it as static on a radio station. It doesn't stop the music completely, but it makes everything less clear and less effective. The consequences compound over time. Weaker muscles lead to less activity. Less activity leads to further muscle loss. Further muscle loss leads to increased fall risk, reduced metabolism, and a cascade of health problems that affect every aspect of your life. But here's what most people don't realize. This process isn't unstoppable. Your muscles retain their ability to grow and strengthen throughout your entire life. Studies have shown that even people in their 90s can build significant muscle mass with the right approach. The key is understanding that fighting sarcopenia requires more than just exercise. While physical activity is crucial, nutrition plays an equally important role. Specifically, consuming the right nutrients at the right times can dramatically improve your body's ability to build and maintain muscle tissue. This is where the fruit Dr. Henderson discovered becomes so powerful. It doesn't just provide nutrition. It provides the specific combination of nutrients your aging muscles need most, delivered in a form your body can actually use. After years of research and testing, Dr. Henderson and her team identified 5 fruits that stand above all others in their ability to combat sarcopenia. These aren't just any fruits. They're specific varieties prepared in precise ways to maximize their muscle-building potential. Let me introduce you to what I call the Magnificent 5. First is the Ruby Giant, what most people know as cherries. But not just any cherries. We're talking about tart cherries, specifically the Montmorency variety. These little powerhouses contain the highest natural concentration of leucine of any fruit. Leucine is like an ignition key for muscle protein synthesis. Just 1 cup provides enough leucine to trigger the muscle-building process in your body. But here's the secret most people miss. Timing matters. Dr. Henderson's research shows that eating Ruby Giants within 30 minutes after any physical activity, even something as simple as a walk around the block, amplifies their effectiveness by over 200%. Second is the Golden Healer, known in grocery stores as pineapple. But we're not talking about canned pineapple swimming in syrup. Fresh pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain that reduces inflammation and helps your body absorb protein more efficiently. One elderly participant in Dr. Henderson's study called it nature's anti-inflammatory medicine that actually tastes good. The third member of our arsenal is the purple warrior, fresh blueberries. These contain anthocyanins, powerful compounds that protect muscle fibers from oxidative damage while improving blood flow to muscle tissue. Think of them as bodyguards for your muscles, protecting them while they rebuild and grow stronger. Fourth is the Crimson Guardian, what you know as watermelon. This summer favorite contains citrulline, an amino acid that improves blood flow and helps deliver nutrients to your muscles more effectively. But here's a little-known fact. The highest concentration of citrulline is actually in the white part near the rind that most people throw away. Finally, we have the Emerald Champion, kiwi fruit. Packed with vitamin C and potassium, kiwis support collagen production and muscle function. 2 kiwis provide more vitamin C than an orange and more potassium than a banana, making them perfect for muscle recovery and strength building. Now, here's where the magic really happens. Dr. Henderson discovered that consuming these fruits in specific combinations creates what she calls a synergistic effect. The nutrients work together, each enhancing the other's effectiveness. It's not just 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = 5. The most powerful combination. A morning blend of Ruby Giants and Purple Warriors, followed by an afternoon serving of Golden Healer and an evening portion of Crimson Guardian and Emerald Champion. This protocol ensures your muscles receive a steady stream of muscle-building nutrients throughout the day. One of Dr. Henderson's patients, a 74-year-old retired firefighter named Frank, summed it up perfectly. "I thought my strong days were behind me. These fruits didn't just give me my strength back. They gave me hope back." The best part. You probably already have some of these fruits in your kitchen right now. The question is, are you eating them in the right combinations at the right times to maximize their muscle-building power? Having the right fruits is just part of the equation. To truly reverse sarcopenia and rebuild your strength, you need to create an environment where your muscles can thrive. The good news is that the lifestyle changes that support muscle growth are simpler than you might think. First, let's talk about movement. You don't need to become a bodybuilder or spend hours in a gym. Research shows that resistance exercises as simple as standing up from a chair repeatedly, doing wall push-ups, or lifting light weights for just 20 minutes, 3 times a week, can significantly improve muscle mass when combined with proper nutrition. The key is consistency, not intensity. Think of it as making small deposits in your muscle bank account every day, rather than trying to make one large deposit occasionally. A gentle yoga class, a walk in your neighborhood, or even gardening can contribute to your muscle-building goals. Hydration plays a crucial role that most people overlook. Your muscles are about 75% water, and even mild dehydration can impair muscle function and recovery. Aim for 8 glasses of water daily, and consider timing some of your fruit consumption with your fluid intake to help your body absorb the nutrients more effectively. Sleep is when the real muscle magic happens. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone and repairs muscle tissue. Adults who get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep show significantly better muscle protein synthesis than those who get less. If you're struggling with sleep, the natural melatonin in cherries, our Ruby Giants, can help regulate your sleep cycle while supporting muscle growth. Protein timing matters more than total protein intake. Instead of eating a large portion of protein once a day, spread it throughout your meals. Your aging muscles can only process about 20 to 30 grams of protein at a time effectively. Combining your muscle-building fruits with small portions of lean protein, like Greek yogurt, eggs, or fish, creates the perfect environment for muscle growth. Stress management is often overlooked, but critically important. Chronic stress increases cortisol levels, which directly interferes with muscle building and can accelerate muscle breakdown. Simple stress reduction techniques, like deep breathing, gentle meditation, or spending time in nature can significantly improve your body's ability to build and maintain muscle. Remember, these changes work together. You don't need to implement everything perfectly from day one. Start with what feels manageable and gradually build these habits into your daily routine. Small, consistent changes compound over time to create remarkable results. Let me tell you about George Martinez, a 73-year-old retired postal worker from Phoenix, Arizona, whose story will restore your faith in what's possible at any age. Just 18 months ago, George was preparing to move into assisted living. Today, he's planning a hiking trip with his grandson. George's decline had been gradual but relentless. After retiring from the Postal Service, where he'd walked miles every day for 30 years, he found himself increasingly sedentary. "I thought I'd earned my rest," George reflects. "I had no idea that rest was stealing my future." Within 2 years of retirement, George had lost so much muscle mass that simple tasks became major challenges. Getting up from his favorite recliner required assistance. Carrying groceries was impossible. Even showering had become dangerous due to balance issues. His doctor recommended a walker, then a wheelchair for longer distances. "I felt like my body was betraying me," George says, his voice heavy with the memory. "I went from being the guy who helped neighbors move furniture to needing help opening my own mail. It was devastating." George's daughter Maria had heard about Dr. Henderson's research through a friend whose mother had seen remarkable improvements. Skeptical, but desperate, George agreed to try the fruit protocol for 90 days. What did I have to lose? He laughs now. I was already losing everything else. The first changes were subtle. After 2 weeks of following the Magnificent 5 protocol, George noticed he was sleeping better. "I didn't realize how poorly I'd been sleeping until I started sleeping well again," he explains. The tart cherries had begun regulating his sleep cycle, giving his body the recovery time it needed. By week 4, George's grip strength had noticeably improved. He could open jars again, a small victory that felt monumental. "You don't realize how much independence you lose when you can't open a jar of peanut butter," he says with a smile. The real breakthrough came at week 8. George stood up from his recliner without using his hands for support. "I just stood up naturally, the way I used to," he recalls. Maria was visiting, and we both just stared at each other in amazement. By month 3, George was walking unassisted around his neighborhood. By month 6, he was back to gardening, something he thought he'd never do again. Today, at 18 months into his transformation, George walks 3 miles every morning and has regained most of the muscle mass he'd lost. "The fruits didn't just give me my strength back," George explains. "They gave me my life back. I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm thriving. I'm making plans again, setting goals again. I feel like I have a future worth living." George's transformation isn't unique among Dr. Henderson's patients. Similar stories emerge from seniors across the country who've discovered the power of targeted nutrition to reverse what they thought was irreversible decline. His advice to other seniors: Don't accept weakness as inevitable. I wasted 2 years believing that decline was normal, that I just had to accept it. Those fruits showed me that my body was still capable of amazing things. I just had to give it what it needed. As we reach the end of our time together, I want you to remember Dorothy, struggling with that jar of strawberry preserves. Remember Dr. Henderson's groundbreaking discovery. Remember George, walking strong and planning adventures with his grandson. These aren't just stories. They're proof of what's possible when you give your body what it needs to thrive. The choice you face today is simple but profound. You can accept the conventional wisdom that muscle loss is inevitable, that weakness is just part of getting older. You can gradually surrender activities you love, independence you've earned, and strength you've built over a lifetime. Or you can choose a different path. You can join the growing community of seniors who've discovered that aging doesn't have to mean declining. You can be like George, who went from wheelchair to walking strong. You can be like the hundreds of participants in Dr. Henderson's studies who've regained strength they thought was gone forever. The magnificent 5 fruits are waiting for you at your local grocery store. They're affordable, delicious, and available year-round. The lifestyle changes that support muscle growth are simple and achievable. The only question is, will you take the first step? Start tomorrow morning with a handful of Ruby Giants, those tart cherries that kickstart muscle protein synthesis. Add some Purple Warriors, blueberries, to your breakfast. Throughout the day, incorporate the other members of our magnificent arsenal. Give your body 30 days to show you what it's capable of when properly nourished. Your future self is counting on the decision you make today. In 6 months, you can be stronger, more confident, and more independent than you are right now. Or you can be where you would have been anyway, a little weaker, a little more dependent, a little further from the vibrant person you're meant to be. The power to choose strength over weakness, independence over dependence, vitality over decline is literally in your hands. Your muscles are waiting. Your future is waiting. The fruits of transformation are waiting. What are you waiting for? Your strongest days don't have to be behind you. They can be ahead of you, starting today. Choose strength. Choose independence. Choose the magnificent life that's still possible at any age.